Hey, Ospin Snakeo here with another figure review. This time I've got the Transformers Prime Deluxe Airachnid, Black Arachnia, whichever you want to call her. Yeah, in the Robots in Disguise series. Yeah, a bit of a confusion about the name. I remember the character as Black Arachnia, but I've seen her being called Black Arachnid, and I've heard her being called just Arachnid. And then when I actually googled her, trying to find the character, it turns out her name in the show is called Airachnid, as in A-I-R. So that was quite interesting. But anyway, moving on to the toy. What can I say about this figure? It's kind of ingenious, but at the same time it's kind of blah, and almost lazy. I am going to customize mine and very much pretty much probably rebuild the whole thing, I'm guessing. I've seen several customizations on there, and I'll go over what I've seen and we'll go over that. So the first thing I want to point out about this this toy, this is her in her little weaponized mode where she looks almost like a scorpion with these things, is these things. Arachnid never ever used these, and I was like, wow, they just gave her these weapons for the sake of giving her weapons, I guess. Then I did a bit of I watched the series like all the way through again, and I actually noticed that when the episode when spoiler alert, yeah, the episode when Starscream revives Skyquake and turns him into a zombie, he loses an arm, and when he's on the operating table with Knockout actually offers him some alternative arms, and one of the arms he offers him, I believe it's the second choice, is the Null Ray, and the picture looks very, very reminiscent of that. So that is what this is, in my opinion. It looks almost identical. It's got like a blade coming down here. That's about the only real difference. So these are Null Rays. Again, she never ever uses Null Rays. So, and as you can see, the problem without the weapons is slight little touch and boom. Not much to really. I suppose you kind of got the knees and the chest to prop up on. Not too bad. The other thing is, she is tiny. Now I know the female characters in the series are very small, but absolutely tiny. Let's do a size comparison. Get these out of the way. Here we have with Bumblebee. Now she's supposed to be a helicopter, you know, admittedly like some kind of stealth helicopter or something, but maybe in a one-person helicopter. It should still be bigger than that. I'm not going to do many size comparisons today. And here is with a vehicle. You know, it's a big gripe that a lot of people have had. I'm not going to say it doesn't bug me, but not as much as like most people. I think it's, you know, it's okay. You've got a figure. What bugs me about this figure is other things, which we'll go into. She has her little blade, and as you can see, it spins quite very loosely, so that's pretty cool. So you can get a nice. My hand can stay out of the way for 2 seconds. I keep banging. There you go. It moves very, very nicely. It's actually, and I'm going to remove it anyway. Simple. This peg has a pin going through it, which it spins around on, and that just pegs into that hole there. And she actually does, when she's just walking around, have the 3 arms that I have noticed. While I've got that off, I will go over her transformation. You can transform her quite easily with it on, but I'll show you as it's just easy to do on camera. So let me just focus first. Focus. Get them out of the way. To start, what you do is you open her cockpit. Oh, before I do that, let's go over her details. She's black, and she's panelly, very panelly. So there's not really much detail to really show you. The cockpit's quite nice, and it's a nice translucent pink. Purpley pink, with a bit of black paint going on it, and that's inside the cockpit. And she's got a little tiny Decepticon logo there. Hey, you know what? That's actually, I thought that was a sticker, but or painted. That's actually raised up. See? It's pretty funky. Little cockpit, controls, no paint apps. And believe it or not folks, that's her head. The seat. We'll go over that later. And then you've got, yeah, robot kibble and a gaping hole. That should be a tail fit propeller, but I guess the ankles are supposed to be the tail propeller. I'm not too sure. Let's like I said, let's do transformation. Now to transform her, you open up the cockpit. Have we extended all the way? Look a bit. There you go. You open up the cockpit, then you fold in the nose cone on this hinge here, and just put that in the cockpit and then close it back down, and it goes in there quite nicely. You then want to take this whole panel here, you want to kind of, it's pegged in just under there and it's kind of hooked in there, so you want to unpeg it from under there, and it's quite hard to get a grip off, to be honest. There we go, see, it's there, two pegs there and there. I thought I saw some wearing on that one. And then you just want to accordion them down like that. Bloody thing didn't want to come out. Right, we'll try the other way around this. Unhook that, and then we'll try and get them two out from there. It's quite snug. And again, accordion that down. You then want to grab these little tail fins here, side wings, and just lift them up like that. Bring the legs down a little bit, and then once you've done that, you want to put pressure on this part here and push the shoulders down, or the top of the chest down, to reveal her head like that. You then want to separate the legs like that, unpoint the toe, unpoint the toe, and then you want to accordion out the arms from these 2 points here. I'll show you on this side. So hand out and then arms out like that, and then you want to separate these, and then what I do is I point them inwards. No, I don't, sorry, it's been a while. Point them like that, and that way you can get them out quite far, so look quite far apart. Then grab the propeller blade, and this actually has a hinge and two balls, as you can see. You do the hinge up, and then you can bring the balls out, and then you can bend the blades. I can't think they're called. Do that on both, all three. Bend the blades like that. Quite aggressive. Put this back in, so you can leave this in. And then after you've removed it all, you then line up the peg sticking out of the winch, the canopy, into that hole just on the blade there, and that holds them quite nice. You can then put these back on her arms if you wish, or she can actually hold them in these gaping holes in her hands there, which we will do for the purpose of this review. Haha. And then try and stand her. People have complained about her balance and that, and saying that she's quite hard to stand, but I've not really had many problems. So she has got very, very, very small feet. If I show you that, she stands on them, and then she's got this part here which kind of acts as a balance, but not always, because as you can see there's kind of a rock in there. But like I said, generally I don't have much problem standing her. And there we have, ladies and gentlemen, Black Arachnid, or Airachnid, or whatever you want to call her, the spider bot from Transformers Prime in her robot mode. And what can I say about this figure? Like I said earlier, I think it's a bit rushed or lazy or something, and I've seen several customizations where people have altered things, and I'll go over that in just one sec. Let's do some size comparisons quickly. Whoops, here I've got against a Viacom, and here I've got against my custom RC, who is basically a Robots in Disguise RC. And as you can see, you know, they're roughly the same height, so they're pretty good in scale together. And I guess that's what they were really aiming for with this figure. Though her vehicle mode should be so much bigger. Ironically, RC's vehicle mode is so much smaller, so maybe one day you'll get accurate. Details. The face is actually a pretty nice sculpt. It's very blurry. There you go. Yeah, it's actually a pretty nice sculpt, and there's light piping which goes all the way through the cockpit. Wow, there would be light piping. As you can see, the eyes are translucent and the seat is translucent, but now you've got this in the way, and if you don't have that in the way, let's put it out of the way, you've got this in the way. So getting that out of the way. Hey, light piping! Yet another thing. Just put this all back. But the sculpt itself is actually pretty nice. It's not terrible. I've seen a lot worse. So that's pretty funky. The body sculpt is okay, I guess. The arms are awful. The arms are just absolutely awful. These are actually quite well sculpted as well. Nothing really in the legs. They're hollow, and then they've got panels and serial numbers. Bit of sculpt in the knee. I don't know if like this part in the transformation is supposed to go up to the knee, because they look, if I try and get both in focus, that and that look like the same thing but in different places. God knows. And it's got a little dirty feet. Like I said, there's nothing really to show you in this figure. Let's go to these big giant weapons. You can. Right, let's zoom out. I've just noticed with these, if I'm not mistaken, you can actually put them in together. Just seeing there's a hole in them. See? Yep. You can put them together and have like a double null. Pacham pacham, or a null blade. Pacham pacham. Let's go over articulation. Now you have the blades. Now these are individually on balls, so they can rotate around, go up and down, all the way out to there, forward. They actually peg in on that little hole there, on that little peg there for the helicopter mode. So they kind of snag on that. You need to be careful not to break that. My nephew actually broke his one, so got to be careful on that. And they've got a very ratchety hinge here, which will go from like there to there. Same on the other side. This one's different. Like this is just on a hinge here, but if you unpeg this one, then the whole lot just wants to just fall down, because it's like I said, a very loose peg. So you need to ideally keep that pegged in there. But you have the same kind of ratchety thing there. Absolutely no paint in these whatsoever. They're just a solid like pinky purple. So not terrible sculpt. That's just kind of what they look like, but they're definitely coloured. So the shoulders have like a hinge which can go up and down there, but it's very stiff and you can't really do much once you bring it up. Then they're on a ball in there, but it's very restricted by her giant shoulder blades. So you can do a 360 around, but you can't really bring it out and do anything with it. It's just terrible. And then she's got a double hinge here and here, so you can bend that up, or you can bend that down, or you can bend that down, you can bend that up, and you can, yeah. And then she's got a hinge here, so you can rotate her hand all the way around if you really wanted to. This bit does actually snag on it, so you have to like bend it outwards to go past it. So bear that in mind. The head is ironically on a ball, but it's very hindered by the seat, which is, I don't know how well I can show this. The seat is actually attached, focus, I've lost my little sticky. The seat is actually, I've lost the garden wire. There's the seat you sit on, and that's the backrest going on there, and that's all attached to the head, but that is the head. So she can't really move her head much because you're catching on that. No forward, not really any back, and a little bit side, and a little bit side, and that's it. Side to there, side to there. So that's a really weird choice to make in head sculpt. She has got T-cut hips for all the good they do. I get the arms all the way out of the way. You can do that. That's her Spartan. And that's her split. She's got a good, just shy 90-degree bend in the knee, and then the toes are articulated at this point here, at the ankle rather, due to transformation. Like I said, this figure is just, it's quite a bad figure, and I wasn't going to get it if I hadn't seen some custom ideas to resolve this. What one person has done has completely just taken the arms off and put RC of the Railway Sinister Guy's arms on there and just leaves it like that, so at least the arms can move. I've seen someone else actually take the whole thing apart, cut the back seat off and just left it out, and then he's trimmed down all of this and he's trimmed down all the back so his legs can actually move. I will try and find the link for that when I post these. I've seen quite a few other custom ideas where someone's actually built an entire new arm and it's like this big. Shapeways do an arm modification where you actually leave the hand like that, you get a peg which goes in there, and then you take the arm off and you actually peg this joint in here, and you actually get a hand which will go on there, which actually is better because then the shoulder pad's not so big and the forearm looks okay, but then you have to kind of like part transform it because you have to take it off each time you want to transform her. I'm trying to think of something myself. I am probably going to add some hinges, maybe a ball joint here, so these will actually fold over and not be so massive and not take up so much room, but we shall see. Oh, and someone else actually did a custom where he cut, I'm trying to show you, it's quite hard to see, he actually cut, where's that little wire gone again, this part here off, cut there and there, so this whole head canopy just came away, which actually I thought, wow, that's a really drastic thing to do, but I gotta admit, it did make it look a lot more accurate because she doesn't have all this on her head. You know, I see what they went to do. They've added all this gimmick so you can have like an automorph transformer, which is okay if it works, but because this just doesn't work, it makes the whole thing else just kind of fail, which is a shame. I don't know what else I can really say about this figure. It's just, unless you're a customizer, I wouldn't recommend it. And if I do figure out a nice easy solution, I will show you, or if I figure out any solution, I will show you. Oh, now she's all back heavy. Stand, woman. There you go. But yeah, like I said, I can't honestly recommend this figure. I just think she's got too many faults and not enough pros. Well, not really any pros, apart from the fact you get an arachnid figure. I can't even get it to stand up now. He said at the beginning of the video, no, I don't have a problem standing the figure, she's fine. There you go. So she's off centre. Yeah, like I said, I can't really recommend this figure unless you're an absolute die-cast, you know, arachnid fan and you must have her, or you want the figures, all the collection for your series, which is, you know, that's what I wanted. Rather, I just wanted the aired figures, not like all the extra ones. But if you're a customizer or know a customizer, then yeah, by all means, you can pick her up quite cheap. I've seen her in my local shops around here in the UK for about £6, so that's very cheap. I only paid £6 for her myself. I got it from that very shop, along with a VR con, which I showed you guys earlier. But blah, you know, blah. Let's move on to transforming her back. To transform her back, you need to peg the legs together, and they actually only attach at this tail here. These two pegs, they just like overlap each other and clip together. Point the toes backwards, like no. Fold these together and clip them together, like no. But don't bring them down yet. You want to accordion the arms up, bring the hands in, same on this side, accordion in. Release the blades and just point the blades out of the way so they're not going to bug you. Now you need to do that whole gimmick thing by bringing the head down. So you want to push this time on the top of the canopy and under her chest. Unfortunately, I don't really know any else to it's being appropriate, but it's a toy. There you go, just like that. Then you need to accordion these up and then wiggle this peg and that other blower peg, this blower peg here and that peg here, under, and at the same time you want to push that in. So it will go like that. Accordion, under, under, in. Then you can bring this down. These two little pegs here just go into, I don't know how you can see, two little holes under there. Just have to straighten the legs out a bit more. Finally, lift the canopy up, pull down this little bit here. That brings the nose bit out. Bring the canopy down, and then just straighten the wings out. Straighten the wings out. And that is basically it, and then you can add these onto the side if you really want. I'm not going to. Shapeways have done sorry, there you go, Arachnid in a vehicle mode. Sorry, I just really don't like this figure. Shapeways have actually some people on there, I think Fake Buster has actually made a multi-bladed legs, so when you open it up, that she actually has 8 legs down, so you can do the whole thing with her legs going backwards like she does appear in most of the show. I've also seen people buy multiple of these and they've actually drilled holes in here and here, and then when in vehicle mode they've pegged them in there and there, so you can have that very same kind of look. Yeah, I'm probably going to buy, if I can make the figure itself better, I'm going to buy the Shapeways extra bit and do that. The only real good thing about this is she's got a really nice blade spin. You know, not many figures can say that. Or not many helicopters can say that. And that's really bad to be the bonus point about the figure. But anyway, there you go, guys. That's my review about the Transformers Prime Airachnid Deluxe Robots in Disguise. I don't know if you enjoyed it. I kind of didn't. I hope it's been helpful. As per usual, please leave your comments below. Please again subscribe, and yeah, thanks a lot for watching. I will catch you guys later. Bye bye.